Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
But who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And what he do?
And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. And today we are talking about Mr. Shiesty, Pooh Shiesty, that is, Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr. Now, remember we did a little thing a while back about his case, and he got sentenced recently to 63 months. Now, he's been in custody for a while. Now, if you remember, this is the one where he posted some money on Instagram, and that's how he was discovered later, because the bill on the Instagram matched the $40,000, or one of the bills in the $40,000 that was in the parking lot. And if you remember, there was a kind of an exchange, weed for shoes and cash and guns flying all over the place, and he shot some guy in the ass. Well, he pled guilty, as I thought he would, because that was a pretty tough case to beat. He got sentenced recently to 63 months. What does that mean? Well, let's kind of do the math. On 63 months, you multiply that by 0.85. That means 53 months to serve, right? Well, he's already done, let's say, 12 months. He's been in custody for a while, so that brings it down to 41 months. And then you say 6 months for halfway house. So that's about 35 months left to do. So that's 1 month shy of 3 years. So that's what he's going to do. He he'll go to a federal prison. And he'll be out in relatively short order. It might even be shorter than that, depending upon, what the Bureau of Prisons does. Because the Bureau of Prisons is the one who controls, you get sentenced by the judge, but the judge doesn't tell you where you're going. He can recommend a certain place, but it's up to the Bureau of Prisons to basically designate you. And you don't know when you're going to go, or because you're sitting in county jail while this is happening, and so the judge sentences you. You wait in county jail for a while, and all of a sudden the marshal picks you up, ships you off to the Bureau of Prisons, and then you'll wind up where you are. And guess what happens when you get to prison? The other inmates in prison, they want to see your paperwork. Why do they want to see your paperwork? They want to make sure you're not one of these. They want to make sure that you're not snitching. So you have to, I got a call today from a client. He's in prison in New York. Got a great deal. But he's in prison in New York, and he has to, he wants his sentencing transcript and his sentencing order to show that he didn't get what they call a 5K. A 5K is what they call rendering substantial assistance to the government. You get a discount for that. So I guarantee you, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer is sending him the his some kind of documentation to show that he did not snitch. And I don't think he did. He got pretty much the mandatory minimum plus 3 months. And I don't know why he got the 3 months, but it is interesting to me, though, that in a case like this, that it came out the way it did. And I'm glad it did, because it seemed to me he was almost the victim of a crime, and then he kind of maybe retaliated. I don't know. It could have been self-defense, and I think I talked about that in my because we reacted to this when it happened. So he will do about 35 months. While he's there, he can get a college education. You can do all kinds of things in 35 months. And actually, federal prison, depending upon where you are, I had a client, now a really good friend of mine, go to L.A., and L.A. was a bad joint. I mean, he was in 12 prison fights, 12, and he won 7 of them, he said. These 3 guys jumped him, put chains in bed sheets, beat the shit out of him, and then he got each one of them alone. Pop, pop, pop. And then just, and he was a white guy, and he would hang out with the black guys, and some of the Aryan guys fucking hated it and would fight him, and he'd say, fuck you, I'm going to fight you, and, just fight. And finally he's crazy, and he's built, and leave him alone. And so but he had to go through a bunch of shit to get to that spot. So it's not necessarily easy time. There's some prisons that are better than others. Let's just hope the best for Mr. Shiesty, and hope he gets out there making music before too long. So that's just a quick update. We'll talk to you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Remember, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on one more thing. Follow us on Patreon and spread the word. Look for us on Facebook because we have a new platform on Facebook too. So I appreciate all the support. Thanks for the over 500, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.